Yo, what's up with this? Something you have never seen before. Those things need to happen as well. Let's start a new project. We've got all nice welding projects to do on this car. We need to align the steering rack, got some tubing for the intercooler, turbo setup, cooling setup, place the radiator, place the intercooler, place the oil cooler, get the mounts for the fuel pump, make an exhaust. So lots of cutting and welding. The specialism I like to do. Get everything fitted real nice. So, well, hope you enjoy me showing you what I can do on a Mazda. Okay, now let's figure out how the pipes and tubing are flowing with the Mazda normally. So we can do some inspiration to order some tubing. Just look up some pictures. Kind of look like this, something like this. We are used to the Volkswagen and Audi stuff, and there's no room over here, and now we've got plenty of room. So I was test fitting at the front, but that's not possible with the coolant pipes. But this way we have some more playroom. And then up. Well, let's start by test fitting some stuff. Inmeten. Hey, well, actually, this is looking kind of cool. I think it will go backwards a little bit because we're moving the steering rack a little bit backwards so that we have enough room, or at least now it's high enough that it will fit the engine bay. So actually, this should be a good height. Make some bracket this way, put the intercooler in the same angle and maybe a little lower. And there we would be having a nice cool setup with air flowing from down here straight to the cooler. So not such a bad setup. It's sucking the air right in. This feels good. So now let's order all the stuff, the pipings, get this out on the way, and then start the first other jobs. So testing 1, 2, 3 is done. Now let's get some real stuff on the go. All the parts are ordered. Okay, so it is in a little bit of an angle too much that it's locking itself up a little bit what's feeling in the steering rack, and on this side it is hitting the tow bar. So a tiny bit downwards, and let's see, adjust the subframe, get it backwards a little bit. this is exactly what it means, the love and hate for tools. I'm just one of those guys that is a tool nerd. And on the other hand, this is a tool that's laying in the shop for, well, years, and you never use it. And then suddenly you've got a car in and you can use the engine cradle that sits on the sides of the rockers. It's terrible to buy all these tools because it's not delivering you any money, but in rare cases like this, it is handy again to have some tools. Got the subframe out, made this bar. Probably I'm going to leave it in, cut this out, cut this whole thing out, and add another tube to mount the steering rack, and then, well, we've got a kind of a new adjusted subframe. Let's see what the ideas on the weld table will deliver. The reinforcement and the subframe adjusted. Now see if we can get the steering rack in and add some extra bracket reinforcement or whatever I can come up with. Well. So after some more mods on the steering rack or on the subframe, I put it backwards another 3 centimeters. So now, well, it is really a lot to the back, and it's almost under the engine. And I've adjusted some indents in the subframe over there as well. So now, well, on for more test fitting. Let the owner drop by. Let's see how he got his mind and if this is more what he wanted. And then we're off to, well, firstly put the radiator in, see the angle, make a mount, and then work our way forwards with the intercooler, and then we can go on to the piping. Well, okay, the ideas are flowing. Test fitted the radiator in an angle by gas. So if you look at this is the bumper in front, so that's all closed. So the hole will be really low and it is on a big angle. So you can see the angle. So the radiator will be in an angle a little bit and then all the air will flow in between. So I came off with some sketches, sketchy. I can clamp the brackets in first, so I'm going to do one test fit, run one bracket, make that in, test fit it, and then maybe, if that works okay, we're going to do the mirrored one, and let's see if we can push the radiator in this way. It's the owner bought a radiator that fits with the engine, so there's no custom radiator. Maybe it would have been clearing up some more room if we made a custom radiator, but it is what it is. I got what I got and I built what I have. Maybe I should make this in cardboard, but I feel just go for it today. So straight away from steel, bend one, clamp one in and see what I came up with.
I don't think I can take this anymore. I might just break all the
Okay, yes, it is hanging, it's staying there, but the brackets are totally out of shape, not good. But on the other hand, with cardboard, I wouldn't have managed to do this. Because I forgot that the bracket where I want to mount it is in an angle. So when we're going outwards, it goes outwards. So that one is missing some millimeters. Now get the radiator out, measure how far it's outwards, and then just make two brackets. And when the brackets are done, I can tilt the brackets a little bit more backwards. That radiator will be in a little bit more of an angle. And then we should go Yap style good. It was all going too nice with the top bracket. Of course, not fitting. So this one is fitting nicely on that point. And the same bracket mirrored. Okay, so let's discover where it's wrong and then adjust for one or two brackets again. this is the radiator hanging. Then the intercooler is free hanging over there, so the final point is to get that upwards to there. And then they're completely free hanging in the RX7, so things are getting closing in. Full bracket setup done. Now waiting for the tubing. Actually, this bracket making is going quicker and quicker, and I'm feeling in a good flow. Of course, there were a couple of hiccups. Not all were straight, and not everything. Well, is every bracket that is in the RX7 is worked out from the center. So there was some tricks and twiddles everywhere. A couple of brackets went into the bin again, but you're used to that now, that not every bracket goes straight in right away. Well, let's see if this one will fit. Okay, some result is this. The big opening, well, up top, intercooler, down, and in between the radiator, all packed up. So, well, bracket to the up top of the intercooler, then that flows over into the bracket for the radiators, and that's on both sides. All sitting pretty. Well, that is another week gone. There are no corners cut on this episode on this professional setup. I'm really happy and stoked on how this is looking. It's all looking professional. The radiator and the intercooler is not moving, it's not going anywhere again. It has some playroom in the rubber gaskets when it's heated up a little bit. So, perfect setup. Next point up on the list is the oil cooler. Same principle, a little bit into the front so it gets some room to full airflow. Well, just get that in. Easy thing compared to this. Then we're off to some, well, as always, wiring, because those wires need to switch on that thing that's in there. We've got the computer, standalone computer that will control the Mazda engine, all Mazda stuff. I think I'm going to prepare and show you all that in the next episode. I've already got the fuel pump in, so the owner can route his lines and put the final points onto that. So we're closing in. Unfortunately, no pipings in at the moment, so hopefully they will come in quickly, so we can start welding everything up. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and put something in the comments on how do you think this is all going. See you in the next episode. Bye.